Right, PETA A1, or the A restoration. I've just taken the carburetors off, and the exhaust port there, which was a sticky valve, had about half full of a sort of oil and rust and water mix of crud. So at some stage, a lot of water got into the port. Fortunately, being a side valve engine, the valves are quite high up, so although it may have filled full of water here quite a few times, it doesn't appear to have gone any further than that. So that with luck I should be able to clean up the valve stem and turn that to operation. Obviously it'll never be perfect, but better than nothing. Here is the breather, which is obviously cluttered up with oil and rubbish. So now I've taken the carburetor and exhaust manifold off, I can get behind and clean things. As you can see, barring a little bit of dust and stuff, this whole thing really is as good as the day it was made. So really, this oily, gungy crud here has preserved the engine. Anyway, more instalments later. Right, the breather cover here that covers the valves appears to be cast iron, which is a rather nice discovery, because on my later engines it actually seems to be pressed steel, or in the case of the PETA A2, aluminium, which is very delicate. Well, aluminium, zinc more like. Anyway, I'm going to remove the screw, and it's covered with black oil, so which is a good news. I'll put that down. Right, now if I give this a wiggle, it comes straight off, and if you look in there, it looks really very good. I'll just get my light closer, and we can see that I've definitely got a stuck exhaust valve, which is what I knew, and it looks almost spotless in there. Not a black crud, so that needs a good washout, but it looks very good. Now, if you look down there, you can see that's a drain into the crankcase. So any crud I wash out from here goes into the crankcase. That's an important thing to know about. So obviously there's no point cleaning out the crankcase and then cleaning it like this, because all the crud will then go and do all your good work. So start from the top down on this engine, wash the crud through, and then when I finally take the base off, which is here, to repair the broken casting there, then that's when all the crud will end up. So yeah, and just wash through top down. So far, looking good. Right, I've just taken the cover off the cylinder head, cracked the bolts, and so far every one of them has come undone, which is really good. So they're all loose-ish. I just need to take it off, lift it off shortly, and then we'll be able to see what condition the inside of the engine's like. Okay, a few minutes later, they're all out. One of the studs came out of the head, out of the ball rather, not the end of the world. They all had washers on, and the metal is pretty bright and clean. Now, sometimes they require a lot of effort to pull these things off. It has to be done carefully, because the cylinder head itself only, that thin. It's very thin. So anyway, let's see what happens. Oop, got a bit of wibble. Okay. Right. You can now see, for the first time ever, into the engine. A lot of crud in there. The bore looks good. The bore looks very good. And the head here, with a shiny clean spark plug and a fair bit of carbon. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad at all. So what I'm going to do now is vacuum clean out all the rubbish and have a proper look. Right, it's taken about 5 minutes, well maybe a little longer, to give that a bit of a clean. Nothing wrong there. There's no signs anywhere of any major problems. Obviously it was no snow compression whatsoever, because the valves weren't sealing. There appears to be a little bit of movement in the piston there, but nothing to worry about. The cylinder head gasket, looking at it, was probably simply loose with age. Looking at the underside, no indications there that there's been a leak anywhere. So that'll be given a quick heat up, and that'll be reused. Cylinder head itself, taking the spark plug out, that was no problem. Yeah, pristine. That takes minutes to do, to give it adequately. It doesn't have to be spotless, but there's no point, it's going to get carboned up anyway. but it just needs to be clean and free of any loose debris, that's all. The other side is going to take a bit longer. There's quite a lot of cleaning to do there, and cleaning between the fins of these, you know, not impossible, but it does take time, and really the best results that we have are doing it by hand. If you want to use a machine, power tools, you know, just ask for accidents. It's liable to get pinged off the bench and damaged. It's cast iron, so you cannot drop this. It'll break. And this one appears, apart from a bit of corrosion, to be in excellent condition. Quite serviceable. Despite considerable cleaning, you can see from the fins where I've obviously haven't cleaned yet, and the amount of the choices is quite hefty. Looking sideways in, you can see that the fins are surprisingly clear, which is a very good thing. That means this engine hasn't been run with severely blocked cooling fins, which is a relief. Yeah, that's good. Looking down, there's the volute there, mucky but clear, so that's a good sign. This engine should come together quite nicely. At least I hope so.